the world is getting too crowded and there's no room for 50-50. You got to be 100% musician or 100% artist. And when he told me that, you know, I just started to cry because I haven't been hit like that from a person who really care about just you. You know what I mean? So I said, this is a great teacher because he has passion for the individual. It's not like you know, just painting everybody with the same brush.
Larry Zeiger's Contemporary Voices in Literature began a tradition 22 years ago at Point Loma High School in San Diego. It's a non-traditional English class where in the first semester, the students study literature in a way that encourages problem-solving, communication, and teamwork. And then in the second semester, they take theory into real life through a full-blown musical production which is written, directed, designed, and produced by the students. So without further introduction, here's Mr. Zeiger's Opus.
Oh, there's so much work. I mean, just doing the program layout is just one big deal with, I mean, getting business cards, getting, you know, the right order of who does what. I mean, makeup and costumes. Costumes is a huge deal. I mean, every detail of this thing, props, sets. I mean, we've been here for the past month just building and painting, and so it really is a big deal.
This is a tradition now for Point Loma. The Zeiger Show. That's what it's called, the Zeiger Show.
It's an advanced English class, actually. There are a lot of writing assignments and assignments teaching critical, analytical writing as well as creative writing.
It's still an English class, even though it's not traditional in the sense that we go through textbooks.
We still do our English work. We have to write papers, but instead of writing papers on a book that we've read, it's about a film that we've watched.
We have to write essays and everything on everything we do.
But what amazes me, and the thing I enjoy most about this class, is the amount of work students do on their own, and they don't even think of it as an assignment. In my office over here, I have about 500 videos and about 300 film scripts and hundreds of books about writing and directing, and those books are out constantly. In fact, if you look at the board over there, those are just for the sign-outs for tonight.
Cinema Paradiso, I loved it, and I've never watched it before, but I just thought it was an excellent film. It was so moving, and I would have never watched it if it wasn't for this class. I mean, I didn't even think to watch foreign films because, you know, you have to read the subtitles.
They're learning that English is not something that stops with just a paper that is written for the teacher and is graded and goes back into their notebook or is tossed out, but they're learning something that may turn into a career for them because they're learning about careers in the media today. Last week we talked about using the theme of the Publishers Clearinghouse.
To write the script, the whole senior class this year, not the Zeiger's senior class, this year did have input on the show.
It took about 2 months of weekly meetings to develop the entire story and integrate the songs into the script.
It was chaotic at first. It's difficult to make one decision out of 90 people's input, you know. I don't know, rock, paper, scissors? I'm not sure. I don't know how we do it, but we've managed to do it.
And they actually wrote a very clever, witty story that has about 45 main characters, because everyone wants to be a star, of course.
I think it's a unique way for kids to see maybe what they want to do in life, or maybe to get things out that they've never done before.
Like, I guess at first it was kind of creepy, you know, being up in front of people, but I've gotten used to it, so I think that's helped me out a lot.
I started this show 22 years ago, and we began to build and build and build, and it became more elaborate and more popular, and so now we do 3 weeks of productions, and the show brings in about well over 2,000 people a year, and there's quite a large profit, and a lot of the community gets involved. It has about 90 students. It really represents about 25% of the senior class.
I don't think I would have my theater company if it wasn't for Mr. Zeiger. So Mr. Zeiger does not have any help. He does all this by himself. I told him I'm going to come and help him. So I came down and been helping with a few numbers. You know, I owe him a lot. And he doesn't think I do. He really doesn't. That's the thing, you know. He's like, I'm going to pay you to come help. No, you don't need to pay me. I'll do this for free. I mean, I owe you.
He doesn't care if you can't sing, doesn't care if you can't act. I don't think that's not what this is about. This is not about if you can be an actor or an actress. Being in the show is not just about being the main character. There's a lot that goes behind it.
This is the opening night, and everyone is very excited.
They really learn what it's all about, to write it, to direct it, they make all their sets. I mean, they really have to see what goes into something like this and work together to make it happen.
Each year, Mr. Zeiger goes, I'm never going to do this next year. And the next year after, I'm not going to do it again. And the next year after, I'm not going to do it again. And I think it would continue until he retires.
It's been a great opportunity to like work with people that you might not have even talked to before at school.
I believe that every student has a creative talent, and this gives them an opportunity to express it.